Hello, welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today we are revisiting Becoming Sheerios. It's the Christmas special episode where I ask Sheerios to tell me how they became a Sheerio and what song made it for them. If you haven't heard last year's episode, go listen to it after this. Okay, let's start with the first story. This letter is from Alison from Illinois, USA. The first Ed Sheeran song I ever heard was Thinking Out Loud. Since the chorus was used on a Glee Project TV show in 2014, when I found the music video, I couldn't stop watching it on repeat. This is when I first became a fan of Ed Sheeran. I remained a fan when Multiply came out, but did not officially become a Sheerio until Equals. It was with Two Step. I especially loved the video, which was filmed in Kiev, Ukraine, before the war broke out in 2023. Did you know Ed donated the proceeds from the YouTube video to help Ukraine? I knew then I was a Sheerio for life. Subtract resonated with me deeply and helped me fight my cancer and beat it. 3 of my most helpful and favorite songs are Curtains, Sparks, and Colorblind. In July 2023, I attended my first Ed concert in Chicago. I love to dance, even though it has become somewhat more difficult now that I am 68. I'm proud to say I've been a Sheerio for 4 years now. Feeling part of this community has been a godsend in helping me to heal and make me laugh. Oh, I love your story, Alison. I love the chronology of it all and the steps that guided you into slowly building your love for Ed and becoming a Sheerio, and how Ed has been there for you when you needed it the most. So I'm glad to have you part of this community, and thanks to you for writing into the podcast. This next story is from Alyssia, who's writing from South Korea, but she's actually French-Italian. I became a Sheerio when I was 5, so it's been 7 years. I fell in love with Ed's music the first time I heard Sing. I was in a taxi and it was playing. I immediately asked the driver who sang that song, and he told me the name that would change my life forever: Ed Sheeran. I went home and started listening to some other songs, and when I tell you I was not the same anymore, I'm not kidding. I couldn't stop listening to his songs. I can't stop, and I never will, even though I've only been to the mathematics show in Zagreb, Croatia, in 2024. It was the best day of my life, and I got to experience it with my best friend. I'm very grateful to be part of the wonderful Sheerio group, and I promise I will never leave it. And why would you leave it? I mean, how amazing is this? Loved your story, Alyssia, thank you. I also want to add that it doesn't matter if you've seen Ed only one time or if you've seen him at all, because you're a Sheerio anyways. Now let's hear from Brazil with Ana Maria's story. I discovered Ed Sheeran's music through my son, who has always been a fan. We used to listen to and sing his songs in the car, but I confess I wasn't that big of a fan myself. However, in December 2019, I went for a walk and started listening to Bloodstream, and this song resonated deeply with me. It was right at the beginning of the pandemic, at a time when we were losing loved ones and uncertainty hung over our lives. So I clung to this song to avoid thinking about everything that was still to come, and it truly runs through my veins to this day. Every time I hear it, I get chills and my heart races. I never used drugs, but it's like a balm to my mind. I really wish Ed knew how much his music saves and restores lives, because he taught me that through failure we learn something, and that leads us to success, even if it takes time. In 2014, I went to Rock in Rio and saw my first show of his. And this year I went to Ipswich alone. Even without mastering the language, I went, and it was the best experience I've ever had. And I would do it all again. I am a proud Sheerio and I will always be supporting him whenever I can. Anna Maria, I love your story so much, and I love that you became a fan through your son. And I wish I could say that now you kind of share the same passion together, but she confided in me and said that he's no longer listening to Ed Sheeran. But apparently that doesn't even stop you from just living your life and even, taking the risks, traveling abroad to see the shows. And I can confirm that Ipswich was such an amazing experience. I did all 3 shows and I'll never forget them. The next story is from Aurora from Italy. The song that made me a Sheerio is Thinking Out Loud, and I heard it probably in one of the most random ways ever, at least based on the stories I've heard so far. On September 22nd in 2016, I went to the cinema for the Italian premiere of Bridget Jones's Baby, the 3rd chapter of one of my favorite sagas. In that film, Ed played a small cameo where we can see him sing, but a very short snippet, and then thinking out loud with just his acoustic guitar. When I saw him and heard his voice, I instantly fell in love, both because I loved the song and because he seemed different from the other artists. And he really is, he's so special. Back at home, I opened YouTube and listened to Thinking Out Loud on repeat for about an hour, learning it by heart. Then it was Photograph and Lego House turn, and the rest is history. Ed is the soundtrack of my life, and I feel so grateful for everything I've experienced, thanks to him and his music. Yeah, I mean, it's random, but it's your story, and I love how every story is so unique, especially like when you hear that the first time you heard about Ed was in a movie, like in a movie you loved, and now that's what you still remember to this day. And yeah, I know Ed does the cameos thing for fun, but here, he's gaining fans through it, so that's a bonus. That's amazing. Nobody's asking me, but I'm just gonna tell you, my favorite cameo from Ed, I think, is in the movie Yesterday, and he's playing himself, but it's like so well written. I love the British humor in this. And if you haven't seen Yesterday, go watch it. I've watched it multiple times, still love it, and yeah. I also love the Red Notice one, but to be fair, I didn't really think the movie was worth a watch. So the only interesting part of that movie for me was Ed's cameo basically, and it was the funniest thing ever. Loved it. The next story is from Célestine from France. I discovered Ed Sheeran with Lego House while making the playlist for my sister's wedding in July 2014. The song really stuck with me, so I asked her to download the album for me. A few months later, in November, my mother passed away. My world collapsed. I have very few memories of the month that followed her death, but I know I was listening to the Multiply album. Ed's voice calmed my anger and soothed my grief. Today, 10 years and about 15 Ed concerts later, I know that the one place where I always feel truly happy is at one of his shows. It's unbelievable how many times I've heard from fans how Ed helped them deal with life and everything that comes with it, including grief, and every time it still feels incredible. And I'm so glad that Ed was there for you. And I did a lot of concerts with Célestine this year, and I know her favorite song is Wake Me Up, and she really dreamed of hearing it live, and we were so lucky because Ed played it multiple times this year, and we were there to witness that, and that was so emotional. He also did Supermarket Flowers on the last show, so we cried a lot this year, but everyone I feel can relate to the fact that the shows are a happy place and it feels like home, and we always need to come back. So can't wait to see him again. Now let's hear from Charlène, who's also from France. Today, I want to talk about an artist who truly changed something in me, Ed Sheeran. I discovered him back in the middle school in 2011, during a really difficult time in my life. I was being bullied, I felt alone and isolated, and that's when I heard the A-Team for the first time, and something just clicked. First, it was just a song I thought was beautiful, but the more I listened to it, the more I wanted to know who he was, what he wrote, what he sang about. Little by little, I became a fan, a real fan. His voice calmed me and his lyrics touched me deeply, like they were describing my own feelings. Like, and it's dark in a cold December, but I've got you to keep me warm. And if you're broken, I will mend you and keep you sheltered from the storm that's raging on now, in Lego House. And with each new release, I felt more and more connected to him and to his music. And I became a Sheerio. It was like I was growing up alongside an artist who, without knowing it, was helping me get through some really tough times. Even now, I still feel deeply connected to his world. He's more than just a singer to me. He's a comforting presence, a constant, someone who gave me the words I couldn't find when I needed them most. Hey again, Ed is always there for us. He doesn't know it, he doesn't know us, but he helps us so much. All of us, that's crazy. Also, I want to add that I guess you didn't really understand the lyrics when you heard the song, so it's really cool that you went digging and made your research to translate the lyrics and find out what he was talking about in his songs and that you connected with them. Thank you for your story, Charlène. This next story is from Erika from Latvia. Hi, my name is Erika and I'm from Latvia. In December 2022, shortly after losing both of my parents, I was stuck listening to nothing but sad music. Then one evening, a song called Perfect came on in my Spotify playlist, and my mom said, "Let's listen to more from this artist." That's how I discovered Ed Sheeran, and his music quickly became a light in the darkness. My first obsession was Kiss Me. But the real turning point came at my first concert in Kaunas, when I heard Give Me Love live. Surrounded by hundreds of people, I felt a true sense of belonging to the Sheerio community. The songs weren't just music anymore, they were emotions, connection, and togetherness. I can't pinpoint to a single song that made me Sheerio. I listened to them all, and each one touched me in a special way, showing me that this music had truly become part of who I am. And today, I'm no longer afraid to talk about what I live with everyday life. I have cerebral palsy and hearing loss. It's a neurological condition present since birth. For me, it means that movements are harder. My balance can be unstable. My hand trembles, and my facial expressions aren't always as free as other people's. And that has often caused some self-confidence problems. I also have hearing loss. My hearing aids help me hear the world, not perfectly, but enough to feel connected to everything happening around me. And when I take them off, the world becomes completely silent, which can be both scary and calming at the same time. Emotionally, it hasn't been easy. At school, I had no friends. I was teased and talked about behind my back, and it hurt deeply. Those years left scars that I still sometimes feel. Even now at 23, I struggle with shyness, fear, and the feeling that I am different. But two things have always inspired me: art and music. Even when my hand shakes, I paint. Most often, Ed Sheeran inspired paintings, especially butterflies. Each one took time, patience, and a lot of strength, but through them, I could express everything I was feeling. And Ed's music became a light for me, a friend in the moments when everything was hard. I've been to 3 of his concerts. Kaunas, August 2024, my first big concert ever. Wrocław this year, and finally, Düsseldorf, a trip I will never forget. It was my first time flying alone without my parents. At first, it was very hard to gather the courage, but I was not alone. My Sheerio friend Carolina was with me, and on concert day, I had Tina beside me, a wonderful person and the creator of this podcast. And its team at the show was just as warm and human as he is. All of these proved one thing to me: I am not just a diagnosis. I am a human being with dreams, strength, and a big heart. Ed is so genuine, kind, simple, real. That's why his music touches my heart so deeply, because it comes from a genuine and kind-hearted person. So as you could hear, I was kind of part of this story because I met Erika in Düsseldorf when we went to see Ed's final show of the Mathematics Tour. First of all, I'm so happy that Erika has felt that she was comfortable enough to share this story. I thought that was really important to share, and so I let her dig deeper into the story and make it a little bit longer than the other ones. I'm so happy that I got to meet her, and I think she was so brave to travel on her own, which is already something difficult, even with people with no disabilities, and she had the courage to do it. And that's because she had a dream, and her dream was to experience a concert at the barrier. So I was the person who helped her do that. She was so brave and strong the entire day. We really came early, so in the queue she couldn't really speak, but we could communicate anyways, because I was like saying, "Oh, you're just like me when I lose my voice after a concert and I can't speak anymore." So all we have to do is ask simple questions and she can answer by saying yes or no, and that really worked. And you guys, the joy I saw on her face when we reached the barrier, I can't even describe it to you, the joy on her face. I was so excited for her, and also that she was able to give a letter that she had made for Ed and a beautiful sign and everything. And after the concert, she wrote me a beautiful message and she thanked me, and it was so emotional. I cried reading her words, and she said that she felt included, and yeah, I was so honored to be there to support her, and frankly, that's thanks to our friend Carolina, who's the best of the best. So shout out to her. And I love this about the Sheerio family, how supportive of each other we are. Love this. So one more thing about Erika, as she said in her story, she's really inspired by Ed and she paints. One day I got a package and it was from her. I opened it and it was a beautiful painting she had made of Bad Habits artwork with the butterfly, the pink butterfly, and the red background, and it was so well done. I posted it on my story. It was the most beautiful gift I've ever received. Okay, moving on. So let's hear from Hannah from Texas, USA. When I first heard Ed Sheeran on the radio around 2015 singing Thinking Out Loud, there was an immediate spark. At the time, I was only 10, so I would only listen to his songs when they came on in the car. I started listening to his other songs as I got older and realized that, oh my god, this is so good. It took a while to realize I was actually Sheerio. I couldn't realize I was a Sheerio at the time because of my age, and I didn't know half of the things I know now. Then became a full-time Sheerio when I first heard Thinking Out Loud live on the Mathematics Tour in my hometown, Houston, in May 2023, at 18 years old. This felt so surreal to me because it was also my first ever concert experience. It was so incredible hearing these songs live and in person. Ed's songs take me back in time, if that makes sense, and are always so fun to listen to and relate to in certain ways. I loved being part of this fandom because it makes me feel happy and proud. I also get to be myself and make new friendships. Oh yeah, again, new friendships in the Sheerio family, love it. And live versions of songs never disappoint, so yeah, thank you Hannah, love your story. Now on to the next story. Hey, I'm Jasfin, I'm from Libya. I have loved music since I was younger, especially Western music. I even used to write poems and lyrics, but I didn't receive the support and encouragement. Over time and with disappointment, I stopped writing songs and I felt frustrated. The world was dark for me. I stopped smiling. One day in August 2021, my sister downloaded a music app. That's how I discovered Bad Habits. I fell in love with Ed Sheeran's voice, so this song made me a Sheerio. I kept listening to it over and over. Later, I found Thinking Out Loud, Perfect, Shape of You, and I Don't Care, and they were incredible songs. So I subscribed to Ed's YouTube channel and Spotify, and I listened to his songs daily, translating the lyrics to Arabic so I could understand them. I can say Ed has helped me learn English big time. Then I started to make TikTok, Instagram videos with my acoustic guitar to support him and interact with us Sheerios. I'm Sheerio to bone. Thank you, Jasfin, for your story. It's crazy to me that you're from Libya. I mean, that's awesome that Ed's music now stretches all around the world and is able to inspire people. And you know what? I read that Ed basically taught you English. And I can relate to that because I don't think I would be speaking English and understanding everything the way I do without Ed. That's crazy. This next story is from Joyce from Mexico. I discovered Ed in 2012. I was a little girl that used to listen to music all day in a TV channel. And from time to time, I could listen to Lego House or the A-Team and really liked it. But the moment I became crazy about Ed, and a real Sheerio, was after I discovered that he was also a songwriter and had written some bangers for One Direction. Also a Directioner here, such as Moments and Little Things. That's when I became very interested about knowing more about him and listened to Give Me Love. I automatically fell in love. He was also my inspiration to start playing guitar, and of course, that was the first song that I ever learned and that I could never forget. And the rest is history. Here we are after more than 10 years. Hola Joyce, I love that you are a fellow Directioner, and I also love Ed's songs he wrote for them. About that, so Ed added a new part of the show, of the set list, which is the songwriter medley. And in it, he sings songs he's written for other artists. And drum roll, he sings Little Things. I was so lucky, guys, to be in Paris for the first time he sang it. And I was shocked and so happy. And I had tears in my eyes as well. The next story is from Logan, from British Columbia in Canada. After having discovered Ed through hearing Thinking Out Loud on my local McDonald's radio in June 2015, I became a big fan. I then listened to his full discography when my love for Ed grew, and I had now gotten to know more about him and his music. However, I was still in a new, fairly casual fan stage. That was until July 28th, 2017, when I saw Ed with my aunt on the Divide Tour in Vancouver, where he played my favorite song and the one that made me a Sheerio, Perfect. Every song, especially Perfect, was incredible, and I still think about that whole year. What a time to be an Ed Sheeran fan! I want to thank Ed for his music and his joyous infectious energy and personality, and you, Tina, for asking me to write in. I look forward to hearing other people's stories on the pod soon. Best regards from Canada. Thank you, Logan, for your story, and I love all the details. Sometimes when I asked fans how they became a Sheerio or what was the first song they heard, some tell me, oh yeah, I remember exactly everything, where it happened, how it happened, like this is really memorable for me. And sometimes people don't remember at all, so the fact that you have all these details about the local McDonald's radio and everything, that's so fun. Now let's hear from Mona from Germany. Hi Tina, I'd love to tell you how I became a Sheerio. It was this year, July 9th. Ed was performing in Hamburg. I didn't really like his music because I was more into rap music. Through my work, I got the chance to go to the concert, and so I went. I didn't know any of the songs except Shivers, Shape of You, Photograph, and Thinking Out Loud. Nevertheless, the concert made a deep impression on me. The next day, I was sitting at work and just listened to the setlist again, and then Give Me Love, a song I didn't know before, came on the playlist, and that's when it just kaboom. When I heard it a little closely and paid attention to the lyrics and those desperate cries of "Give me love" in the song, that it hit me. I was head over heels in love, and then in Dusseldorf I got to experience it live, and yes, it was very, very special. Well, the feeling that the song conveys touches me deeply, as does the video clip. It was simply love at first sound. From then on, I didn't listen to anything else but Ed. I completely fell in love with his music. Oh wow, I love a story that starts in a way and then ends the opposite. Like it was black and white, a total shift, but in the end you found Ed's music, and that's what's important here. Thank you so much. Mona's friend also wrote me. Her name is Nora, and she's also from Germany. I had been listening to Ed since the A-Team, but not regularly. However, his songs stretched through all my playlists, and I even got a vinyl in 2017. His CDs had been a constant companions in the car since 2016, but I never considered myself a Sheerio, even though I always mentioned him as one of my favorite artists. This year, I went to 2 of his shows in Dusseldorf for the final week of the mathematics. That's when it kicked in. I loved the show and everything, and how he was on stage. The moment that I remember most is when he sang Happier, with the fireworks when the chorus hits. It was magical. This song left a big impression and was the moment that made me think, okay, I'm a Sheerio now. So I started watching more of Ed's interviews, I listened to all of his songs, and so on. And through that, I met my friend Mona on the socials. And long story short, now we have a podcast together called Play Ed, Played, and Big Sheerio Plans. Thank you for your story, Nora. So you heard it, guys. These 2 German Sheerios are starting their own podcast where they'll chat with each other about everything Ed, in German only, and it will come out in January 2026. In the meantime, you can follow them on Instagram. It's at played_podcast_official. Now let's continue with the next story. Hi, my name is Olivia. I am 21 years old and I am French. The first time I listened to one of Ed's songs was Thinking Out Loud in 2014. I discovered him thanks to my older sister, who advised me to listen to him. From the very first time I heard this song, I knew I would be a fan, but the moment I truly considered myself a Sheerio was in 2017 when the album Divide was released. The first song from this album that I listened to was Perfect. I listened to it all the time, especially since during that time I was in a relationship and my ex was also a fan of that song. Since 2017, I have continued to listen to all of Ed Sheeran's songs. I haven't stopped following him and I won't stop. Unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to attend his concerts. I am visually impaired, so I need someone to accompany me, which is very complicated when neither of your family nor your friends are fans. This also means I can't watch his music videos. You see, my difference doesn't stop me from being a fan, and I don't consider myself any less of a fan than someone who can see normally. And why would you? You can listen to his music and it touches you the same as it touches us. So I really do hope you can make it to a show because his live music is the best thing in the world. Wishing you all the courage and all the best. Thank you. Another story from Illinois, USA. Hello, I'm Ricky from the US, living in Chicago, Illinois. The first song I listened to from Ed Sheeran was Shape of You in 2017. That's the song that made me into a Sheerio. It was playing on the radio on the bus ride home, and after that day, I started listening to his other songs. It had an impact on my high school life. It was like he was speaking to me through his songs from my good days and bad days. He helped me find myself, and I am thankful for the person he was at that time and still is. Hopefully, I get to meet him one day to thank him for what he has done in my life. Yes, Ricky, I think you should believe that you'll meet him one day, and I really hope you do so. Thank you for your story. So we mentioned Ukraine in another story earlier. Well, this story is from a Ukrainian fan. Her name is Rina. One day, my music teacher at school told me to make a presentation about my favorite pop artist. I didn't know who to write about because I only listened to Eminem. And that day, I opened TikTok, and the first video I saw was a speed-up version of Shape of You. And I remembered about Ed and decided to make a presentation about him. I knew about Ed before, but I was never interested in him. While I was looking for more songs and more information about his career, I accidentally came across the song Nancy Mulligan. I liked it from the first notes, and I liked it in everything. That's when I became a Sheerio. And it's as simple as that, yeah. Thank you, Rina, for writing in, and also thank your teacher, because I think without her and without that, homework you had to do, maybe you wouldn't have been a Sheerio. Okay, guys, that's all the stories we have for today. I hope you loved them, and I hope that you still love this format, and I wish you a very Merry Christmas, because that was the Christmas special episode. I wish you all the best, and I recommend you listen to Merry Christmas by Ed Sheeran and Under the Tree. Maybe even watch the movie, it's awesome. And see you guys next year, hopefully for more interviews and more stories and wonderful guests, Sheerios. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.